My name is King, and this. Give me a second. And this is the HP Desktop M01-F1224. But I just call him Mo. He looks like a Mo, right? I kind of think. I got this mid-tower PC for less than $100, and that was a pretty good deal. The CPU inside this computer is the Ryzen 5 4600G with Radeon integrated graphics, which actually is enough to do a lot of the work and a little bit of light gaming if I wanted to. This PC came with one 8GB stick of DDR4 memory running at 3200 MHz and a power cord. And that's it. No storage, no hard drive, no OS installed. It's pretty bare bones as it gets. But I do have a 500GB hard drive from my old MacBook that I tore apart after the screen fell apart. So I could theoretically just plug that in, install Windows to that, and boom, I have a working PC for $100. But I didn't buy Mo just to put a hard drive in him and make him my daily workhorse. I decided to buy Mo to make him the elite budget desktop PC, and he's going to need a few tweaks and goes before he's at that level. So let's get started. Which way do I go? This way. To start it up, the first thing I had to do was, get it open. I took off the fan to check the thermal paste, and surprisingly, it looks like it's been replaced recently, so I decided not to mess with it and just put the new cooling fan on. The Thermalright Assassin X120 Refined SEV2. Got this from Amazon for about a good $17, $18, but then I came across an issue. I just want to see. Price up this. That's not fitting. It's too big. And that's what I get for not doing more research. So I just went to put the old fan back on. If anyone has an idea for what to do with this fan, let me know in the comments. But after putting the fan back on, it was time to install the RAM and the NVMe SSD. And I grabbed this Speederlash 1TB SSD for $50 and another 8GB stick of DDR4, taking us to a total of 16 gigs, only for $15 more. I think that will be good enough to download a good amount of games and programs and not run out of room immediately. And the standard RAM for most applications is 16. But I ran into an issue here as well. The screws they sent me with the Speederlash don't seem to fit in the SSD hole. So you're telling me that they sent me way too small of SSD screws? I'm really starting to get like... First of all, a company doesn't even give me one. Why would you give me screws for the smaller SSD part instead of the larger one? Which you're... Oh, that's... Okay. But luckily I tore apart my PS4 controller a few weeks ago and had some screws lying around in a box. This'll work. I'm tearing apart a lot of my technology, aren't I? And one of those screws were the perfect size. After going to my other Windows PC, and made a Windows 11 install on one of my flash drives and plugged it in, and I was ready to install. I watched a fair amount of PC build videos throughout the years and knew that I would need a Windows installation key to fully activate Windows. So I went to URCD keys and started punching in my card information, but I looked up at my computer and Windows was already activated. I guess it was already activated on the motherboard, so I guess it saves me a good amount of money for this build. And with that, it was pretty much done. I started moving some of my files over from my old computer and downloading some games, and unsurprisingly, Mo was able to do everything my old computer can do and go one step further. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I wanted to make Mo an elite desktop PC. And running this computer with the integrated graphics is just not going to cut it. And I've seen it in too many videos to try to push it even further. So now it's time to look for a GPU. Or that's what I would say if I didn't already have one.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Actually, before we even talk about the GPU, I have to go back to before I even turned on the PC. The first thing I did was swap out the stock 180 watt battery that comes with the HP and replaced it for this dodgy replacement battery from China.
China!
It was either this or pay double the price for one from HP because their power cable is a 7-pin 4-wire motherboard connector, which is exclusive to HP and sucks.
You want to buy from China? That's great. Buy from China.
This battery I got has a 7-pin 3-wire cord, so I had no idea if it would actually work on my computer, and online it was a very mixed bag, with it either being DOA, works perfectly fine, or it works in place for 3 days to a week, turns off, and never turns back on. So far it's been about a month and it works well, but I'll get back to you in about 3 or 4 and tell you how it really runs. But the reason I upgraded the battery was for the 8-pin PCIe power cable this battery comes with. I've seen people go SATA power to PCIe, but I want all my SATA ports and I think I'm going to need a little bit more power for my graphics card.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
The RX 6600 XT with 8GB of VRAM. It was between this, the 5700 XT, and the 3060 Ti 12GB, not the 8GB. The 5700 XT's performance is great for its price, but in every test that I've seen, it has a similar performance to the 6600 and the 6600 XT with a greater power draw, and it is older with less features like mesh shaders. I don't know. You needed to play Alan Wake, I guess. The 3060 Ti was very hard for me to find someone selling it for under $230, which was my sweet spot, and a few listings wouldn't tell me if it was either an 8 or a 12 gig model. So, after finding a good deal on the 6600 XT for $200 and it came in the mail, I was ready to install this bad boy into Mo and let him ascend one more time. Now, I was very nervous. I've been real confused about the amount of force needed working with a PC. Or maybe it's just me, but putting anything in or out, unplugging cords or plugging up cords, and especially taking off this front panel, feels like I'm about to break something. So excuse me for looking like I'm struggling and going slow, because I am struggling and going slow. But note the time it takes to install the GPU. I take off the back brackets so the ports will show. Line your GPU's golden fingers across the lane, and give them a nice, firm but gentle press. You have to firmly grasp it on both sides, trying to push it down.
Firmly grasp it!
Then grab our PCIe power and plug that bad boy in. After screwing it all down, it's all done. Mo is complete now. Here's my 3D Mark Time Spy score. And here are the results of my Black Myth Wukong benchmark test running at 1080p high settings. Now, who really wants to just see benchmarks? I mean, that's pretty pointless. What you guys came to see is real gaming. So we're just going to get straight. I have to stop him. Hi, this is Editor King. We're not doing any gameplay. I feel like the benchmark was good enough for now. If you do want to see gameplay, drop a like and I'll probably drop it later. Right now, I don't have the biggest plethora of PC games. I've just joined the PC Master Race, so you're going to have to give me a little bit of time on that, but I feel like this is been a pretty good video so far. And the more we let him talk, the longer this thing is going to get. So like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll keep him going. Straight to that. Oh, okay. It's over. We're done. You can go.